I love making those style edits, but I think these gnarliest skater edits get me even more stoked. This is the gnarliest skaters in history, part 2. I've realized after going over this compilation I just finished editing that I'm going to need these bobby blades, these speed shades, to be able to watch this skating without my eyeballs catching on fire. There's so much speed, and not the kind of speed that Christian Hosoi would pack in a light bulb under a vert ramp. No, sir. But tonight we are going to Canada. We're going to Australia. We're going to South America, but not Brazil. And we're even going to Liverpool, England, for the sickest Scouser to ever ride a skateboard. Yeah, there's some Yankees in this too. Anyway, this might be the last episode from the Salt Lake City basement here. I'm moving in a few days, so say goodbye to this basement. Geoff Rowley, Geoff. This is the Scouser I was talking about, one of the greatest skateboarders in history. 411 issue number 30. There's this banger flip sort of edit thing going on here where they cover all the years. It's from like 94 to the late 90s when this came out. Look at this tray flip. It was a cover, I don't know, 13, 14 stairs in 1994. Geoff, you absolute maniac. Look at the catch. Look at how large that is. I'm sorry, but my butthole's already puckered and we're just 5 minutes in. Huge double set kickflip, huge board slide. Love the shorts and the Sal 23s. Switch frontside flip, fully legitimate, no Muska illusion. Kickflip, backlip, insane. And then how many cab heel flips have you seen downstairs before or since? Probably zero. Geoff, you maniac. We got to throw Penny in here while we're already here. That frontside flip's the best ever. The kickflip gap to back tail and the switch frontside flip down Carlsbad. What a stomp. Anyway, Geoff looking like he just shopped at Hot Topic right there. I'm glad he got over his punk phase dressing like that. So kooky, but the guy is so good it doesn't matter. Insane looking nollie backside flip. Even crazier looking nollie hard. Love the way he crooked grinded through the kink there. And then look at this frontside heel flip over the table. So legit. How far he went, how high he popped. Tray flips are not easy over anything. Neither are switch front 360s. I was so sick. The camo shorts, the mid-top Vans. So rad, Geoff. Big board slide in the high socks here. I think we've gotten later in the 90s. I just edited out the years, but whatever. It's like 96, I think. Huge fakie flip. One of my favorites ever, Insane de Guido. Fakie frontside flip. That shit was sick. Half cab frontside flip, whatever you want to call it, 90s heads. Radical looking tray flip in the Volcom socks. And I love the way he just sets up for this frontside flip and just hucks. It spun all the way around. Couldn't be any more polar opposite of a Chad Muska frontside flip. Although Chad is in this and I love Chad. Back 270 lip slide. That was so ridiculous for the time period. Even for now, that is such a legitimate trick. He does an even better one in his sorry part. And then huge lip slide. This is reminiscent of that front board that Ardo Sari did on the same rail where he looks back at it, but I think this was way before that. And now getting into Sari, I think this is Geoff's best part. We saw this when we looked at DeSarmo's style. One of the worst falls I've ever seen in my life. What a fucking bail. Sick varial heel flip. I think he was one of the first people to do this rail. Ardo took it out in the same video with feeble and back lip, but how fast he's going into this lip slide, that was ridiculous. Balls to the wall, hitting the rail on the side with the big drop. And then this isn't exactly a gnarly line. I just wanted to show off how good Geoff is. He isn't just a gnarly skater. The guy's got flip tricks for days. That Rick flip at the beginning was amazing. He made skating in thin Vans again cool. He brought it back single-handedly. Huge switch ollie. The tray flip on the roof gap. Another one of those back 270 lip slides. They're so rad. And then just a ridiculous caveman. I don't know what he's thinking there. Insane spot to skate in Barcelona. It's gone now, but half cab heel flip in. Heard it was really gnarly. Huge backside flip. A really sick looking gap nose blunt. I like Mark Alpiard's gap back Smith on that. Shove it down Santa Monica triple. That's no joke. What a tough trick. That seems simple. And the 180 nose grinding, 180's out. But how about this trick? The fakie ollie tail slide come out regular. So ridiculous. Just a quick clip in that part. That is an amazing trick to do. That's so absolutely gnarly. Of course, this, you see that? It fucking hit. Such a sick back lip. He goes back to stomp it after maybe the security guard left. That was huge. 2002. This is ridiculous. Fakie nose grind 180. I don't know what he's thinking right there on Wilshire. The frontside heel flip the long way on the table, showing himself up from the camo shorts. The dark slide, the cab front board to fakie. So sick. People do these in stupid-ass contest runs now. He sacked on that huge UCI rail. Huge nollie backside 180. Geoff is one of my favorites. I know I threw him on blast. Frontside Hurricane's insane for using Instagram, but every pro uses Instagram now. Heath is one of the only ones cool enough to never have to use Instagram and lose their mystique. I love how he heel flips into that dark slide right there, just kind of dorking around. He's so gnarly, he can get away with it. The hurricane on that rail and then the front feeble, both of those immaculate tricks for the time period, immaculate tricks now. 50-50 death drop, I don't know, 12-foot drop. And the way he catches his tray flip lip, his feet are close together, he just rolls out of it. Huge nollie. Remember Figgy's checkout when I first heard about Figgy was on that rail? And then 180 nose ground, we talked about that. One of the most ridiculous tricks down Wilshire 15. Trying to not touch the microphone, I'm sorry. And then here he is breaking off Walnut. He's the first person to do it. We will see Chima hit that rail front side. Ridiculously large board slide. I love how he keeps flip tricking after, which is kind of a motif for his really sorry part. And then he broke off Clipper. I saw him at an Xgames once standing in front of Clipper, and it was a highlight of my life. Gap 50 here in Paris, ridiculously gnarly after that huge frontside flip over the canal. Wow, Geoff is good. One of the sickest looking backside 360s, foot did not come off. And then really sorry, I don't think he has as much range on this part as that sorry part, but I think this part's gnarlier. That gap ollie is ridiculous. What I like about this part is it seems like he either at least pushes out, if not continues doing flip tricks after just about every trick in this entire video, catches his knees on the way over that handicap ramp and gets thrown. Ridiculous looking trick over that street gap. I love the way it spun around his back foot. Insane blizzard flip into that bank. He's the owner of this spot. We'll see Milton do a trick on that one too. Sick nose blunt. Milton's also going to hit that huge ledge. Lip slide at that time. Insane. Switch big heel flip because he's got it like that. And this rail, I don't know. It's not the biggest 50-50, but I think it's how wide that rail is. Just ridiculous to not hit the curb at the landing either. And down in Tucson, the back 50 through the triple kinker. I don't know. It probably wasn't even wax except for that last little section. Just the way he held it, it just looked so good. And then for the time period, this is before Ardo back lipped it. This is way before Midler kickflip back lipped it. This is history right here, ladies and gentlemen. This is gnarly skating at its finest. Geoff is one of the greatest with one of the best styles too. I love the way he just sits in that lip slide and the fact that he takes it switch. Doesn't even need the piece of wood, really goes past it. And the iconic fakie ollie into the dirt that I'm going to cut out right here. Wow, thank you, Geoff. One of the greatest. Love watching you skate. And then he ends it all out with this insane line at Clipper, the front 180 to the switch 180-50. I was so sick. We got to get into Baby Lamb, David Gravette. So there's a lot of gnarly guys that can hammer rails and gaps in this, and David can hit giant rails too. But he's got these weird tricks in his bag. I want to throw in a couple tricks from his Born Dead here. This nose grind's insane. That kickflip front 50 on the wood rail was rad. The lip slide through the kink rail. This is the video I heard about him. I think most people at the 2006 did too, because this backside salad down El Toro, horrible filming on both angles, but insanely gnarly. And I guess as the story goes, he can't even do that trick anymore. He did it down that huge 20 stair and that's it. But and now is probably his best part, probably his most well-rounded part. The guy isn't just a rail chomper. He also has these weird foot plant tricks, wall ride skills, transition skills. He's kind of all over the map. He's insanely inventive skater, and all these slams show how hard he tries, and I really respect that. I think he's my favorite person on King of the Road to watch, too. I cannot stand Chris Cole. I know he won a lot of things, but huge back 50. David Gravette's the sickest. Gap Manny to crooked grind down a handrail. Ridiculous shit. Big 5-0. We'll see somebody else hit that rail in this video. Maybe an earlier trick. Kickflip through the circle there. I don't know what he's thinking. This bail, I'm not even going to show the Meg. The bail is so much more ridiculous into that water. Getting his day one on. He gets gnarly in a different way sometimes. It's not all about the biggest shit. The 50-50 ollie out over the wall. Ridiculously gnarly. The huge lip slide. I like his style, too. Ooh, this quarter pipe at Third and Army was so fun to skate. Rest in peace. That was a sick trick to do there. And then I had to throw that in there as maybe the most stylish no comply back 360. Here's some of his transition skill. The kickflip wall jam to fakie. Insane. And this crooked grind. I don't know what he's thinking on that rail. And now's a great video. Huge ollie. Malto, Trapasso. There's some really good parts in it. Doing that no comply 360 on a gap is just insane. I think only David's doing that. And then the way he uses the wedge here, he's got a lot to lose without a whole lot to gain there, landing in the water. Insane, Baby Lamb. What are you thinking, brother? Love the 2009 hippie shirt that everyone seemed to be wearing there. The gap to nose grind on that rail, showing himself up. And the nose blunt, someone tried to back nose blunt and never got it. The front nose blunt was so sick, so rad, David. And this rail's insane. I love how he poses it. He bounces it so well that halfway down, he doesn't even have to try. Incredibly gnarly, David. Has anyone ever called him Dave? I don't think I've ever heard him called Dave Gravette. Sick wall ride yank out and then shuffling on a handrail right there. I don't know how many people are doing that kind of stuff. I know Foy can do it off a rail. He did it in a King of the Road 2016 or something. Wow, that was so sick. And I think we'll bring him out with his Prevent This Tragedy. I really like the song he skates to in this. I like the rawness of it, the 50-50 on the kink rail, throw himself into the curb while drinking a beer. And then something a little different. There's that creative aspect of him, with mixing it with the gnarly, the power slide, the pole jam. 50180 out on a huge rail. I don't know what he's thinking there. Getting gnarly in Lincoln City. Coast to coast, nose blunt going super fast. I love the style on it too. And he crooked that for a long time to pop out of it. Gnarly spot in the city, takes it with ease. The 50-50 back 3 out, so rad. This is an underrated video, I think, as a whole. Rad. Oh, wow, that was insane. Getting his Willie Santos on that hill, on that ledge down the hill. The insane transfer at Burnside. The 50-50 on a rail that should not be 50-50'd. It was so sick. Another huge nose grind. The guy is amazing. This guy does not get enough credit for not only how gnarly he is, but how inventive he is. A crooked grind, you miss that, you're done. You're absolutely fucked. The 5-0 for 6 years, he was on the rail for 6 years. The gap to lip slide, you cannot land in that niche. Wow, that was fucking gnarly. David. This 50-50 goes on for eternity. That's just such an insane rail. So much style on it. Thank you, baby lamb. Chima Ferguson. I absolutely love Australians. Yeah, fucking cunt, yeah. This is a local video from the early 2000s. Killself. His part in this is insane. Look at that man push into this insanely big stair set, which he goes on to ollie, and he does more tricks down that in this video. Chima is an absolute killer. Look at that pop. Holy shit. Basically, if you hear about an Australian skater in the States, I don't know why he does this backflip twice, 2 different days, but big backside flip on the double set. If you hear about an Australian skater in the States, they are ripping so hard. They have enough of a scene there where they have to break out of the Australian scene and then restart in the American scene. Look at this nollie backside flip. That could be in a video right now. Such good flick on it. He catches it nicely, hits the wall, so he goes back and does it again, and they film it Ty Evans style from behind. Really sick, Chima. I don't know how old he is in this, like 16 maybe, switchback lipping handrails. The kid has always been good, and he's still amazing today. Kickflip backlip on a tall rail. That was rad. And then here he is hitting that huge set again. I don't even know how many stairs it is. Giant backside 180, all blind on that. Makes it look easy. And the kickflip to really seal the deal. He caught that insane. I read an interview recently where he said he got put on blast for his celebration there. You're allowed to celebrate all you want after you land a kickflip like that. Holy fucking Lord, that was huge. Jesus. What are they drinking in Australia? Anyway, real since day one, an amazing video. Dan Wolf did a great job. I think Chima's kind of more laid back in this for the most part. A lot of really well pop tricks. The backside flip, the switch backside flip, the backside flip on the Busenitz bank spot. So rad. Takes the Hillbomb switch. His casual switch flip tricks down double sets. That inward heel was caught so well. The switch front board, you can see he's getting better since that Killself video just a couple years later. The huge switch frontside 360. He's got man pop. He's got amazing style. I love how he skates the thin shoes like Geoff Rowley. It really, really makes all these tricks gnarlier. The big heel flip, the switch backside heel in San Francisco, huge varial heel filmed from a shitty angle. And I love this switch back lip roll-in. That was insane. Switch backside big spin. Basically, all these tricks are so technically advanced and so giant. He goes on to show himself up with that insane ollie right there. And then one of my favorite back threes ever over this rail. Just boosted it, landed it so casual, rides out of it. Probably went and had 15 beers after this, woke up the next day and skated more because he's a beast like that. He's got switch tray flips on lock. He's a technical skater. He skates big, huge nollie backside flip. He skates rails. I don't know if he skates transition. I'm sure he does. I think he does in that Let's Live part. Switchback tail on clipper is no joke, especially doing it with that amazing of style. Wow, that was perfect. And then breaking off on Walnut. As the story goes, he broke his wrist right there. But he's such an animal. He gets up, does it again. Thin Vans once again. That was so perfect. Wow. He picked up where Geoff Rowley had left off with the shoes and sliding down Walnut. Insane. And then this part, the nice to see you part, somehow Chima, I think, is more gnarly today than he was even in since day one or Killself. The way he pops these flip tricks, and he does a lot of insane lines in this video. We're going to mostly just look at the gnarly shit, but I did want to show his flat ground prowess a little bit before he goes and boosts this back 360 down this gap. He's so insanely talented. It's amazing to watch him skate. He deserves everything he's gotten in his pro career, and then to see him with a kid and still ripping huge nollie flip, wow, that was sick. He can get impaled on that rail, but he frontside flips over it like nothing. Look at the height on that switch heel flip, lands in that weird bank thing. Chima is so good. The late spin on that fakey frontside flip, frontside half cab flip, whatever you want to call it. The Mach 50 ollie bombs the hill after, some Milton Martinez on it. The nollie frontside flip past those little things in the landing. That was insane. It was huge. This kickflip, wow, he's in the air for what seems an eternity. I can't believe he caught that so well. It over-rotated a little bit, rolls down the hill in the landing. And then the speed into this fakie flip. He's on some Reynolds shit right here. He's so good at skating stairs, you forget how sick he is. Look at the catch on it. The casual put down had to have been 12 or 15 stairs. Way sicker than Tyshawn Jones' backside flip was that heel flip. Back three going the hard way over that rail. He basically owns this spot. Him and Lewis Marnell for life will own that. Fakie varial heel flip. How often are you seeing that down a legitimate spot? The fakie ollie back lip. So insane, Chima. The guy has got so much skill. It's no wonder he had one of the best-selling Vans shoes back in about 2009. There's the front 180 that shows up his own ollie, and the switch tray flip. Look how long he's set up for it, how fast he's going. I am just so hyped. I'm going to go skate right after this, grip a new board, and go rip. Thank you, Chima. Do or die nose grind. Wow, that was insane. And it's good to see him get on a big rail. The other angle really shows you how gnarly this rail is. Wow, that is sick. And then, of course, the St. Martin Place ollie. Just as a little bit of history for you, Sheckler did ollie it in almost round 3. Probably taller than what Chima does, but the length on Chima's ollie it might be the gnarliest ollie ever done, and that is saying quite a lot, especially when we get to Milton Martinez. Holy fucking shit, that was sick, Chima. Whew! All right, I'm broken in now. Chris Russell, the muscle. One of my favorite tranny skaters of all time. I don't think anybody quite skates like him. Die Like the Devil. What a weird name, or shitty name, really, for a video part. He's so good. The double hand plant there, alley-oop style, over the light. Ridiculously insane. Of course, he has the greatest ollie disasters other than Wade Spire. Look at him go. The 180 switch crooks through the corner, comes out switch, the switch invert. The kid is insane. Look at the late 180 on that boneless. I love the fakie thruster thing he's doing right there. Alley-oop over the channel. The boneless bash. The crooked grind to revert over the light and the death box, the slob plant, the transfer in. This is all so insane. I know there's a lot of purist street skaters that watch this channel, but you need to have a little bit of appreciation for. Look at that cradle nose grind tail grab 180 out. Oh my God. Sorry, I can't even make my point. I'm so hyped right now. The Jimi Hendrix school, somehow he inverts it, or was that egg? That might have been eggplant. And I think he big spin back disasters. I was recently here like a couple weeks ago. Insane spot. I don't know how anybody's skating it, let alone that sick. But I think with all the purist street skaters that watch this, you need to, if you don't have appreciation for some of these gnarly tranny guys, that Town Park nose grind bonk 180 was so rad. There he is at lower bobs doing what I don't even know what to call it. The Coos Bay ride over revert. It was so insane. The kid is such a killer. Look at that. You need to appreciate transition skating. And I will try to end this point. What was that line where he slash grinds right after coming down a vert ramp? The kickflip into the wall ride there, the huge frontside ollie. And then here's Chris skating some street. He makes this spot look so sick. I believe Dylan skated it, Mexico City. That was so rad. Look at the style on that tail grab. Oh my God, muscle. So rad. That transfer makes no sense whatsoever. It's just some old school pull shrouping. There's the Geoff Rowley trick over the light. That was so sick. The alley-oop nose grind. I don't know what he's thinking here. These double inverts that he does. The Oakland ramp just getting into the trees. The BAM spot in Oceanside, that was gnar. And then he has to get towed in the fucking wakeboard wench on this one. What the hell is going on? So sick. He bashes it 180s out just to show himself up. He's going so fast. And then this eggplant on that spot. I don't even know what that spot is. It has like 10 feet of vert. Okay, Muska. Muska is a movement. He's not just a skater. If you were into skating between about 95 and 2002, this should be your champion. Look at this kink grind right here on that. Look at that 50-50. That rail is nuts. Look at the gear. He is one of the most famous skaters ever, and he should be. The guy is so sick. He probably only has about 10 tricks in his bag and all these video parts, and all of them are the sickest shit ever. He gets me more hyped, I think, than just about anybody else that's ever rode a skateboard. The way he 5-0'd and started spinning out early through the kink there, the 50 on this rail. I think Leo Romero hit that rail 5-0 in a Transworld video. The track pants, the gap nose blunt. This is 1998. The dude is fucking annihilating shit. The Crooks big spin on that crazy bank spot. The illusion flip, there it is, the complete opposite of Geoff Rowley. Did it even flip? I'm not sure, but it's so sick when Muska does it. Huge 50-50. I remember I had his first iteration of his Circa shoe with the stash pocket in the tongue years before I ever had any weed in my possession, but I just thought it was hilarious. Big backside 5-0. This line here at the Arco rails, where Heath got thrown off that motherfucker. He took it all the way and landed it. And then this rail in the Sunset District of SF, a lot of people have skated it since. He was the first one to break it off, lands in that weird thing right there and rolls it out through the Hillbomb. So sick, Chad. And of course, one of the most iconic crooked grinds ever, holding the Ghetto Blaster. So sick. Oh my God. That reminds me of my childhood. It reminds me of playing Tony Hawk and then going out to skate after. So rad. The backside 270 kickflip that was caught so well. Look how fast he's going for this kickflip. He didn't need to go that fast, but he did. So rad. Reminiscent of some Dill at the end of Photosynthesis. There's that illusion again. And then if you watch Tom K recently on that Pocket Skate Mag, this is the Gons rail. Gons board slid it in video days. Chad's here 50-50ing it. That is such an insane rail to handle. If someone did it today, it could be in a video part without even trying. Shirtless, the belly tattoo like Tupac, and this lip slide on the stucco ledge is all do or die. It throws you right into the ground. He rolls it out with ease. So sick. I remember that ad. I think it was a Shorty's ad in about 1997, probably end of 97. The tail slide to fakie does not go through the kink. He just slightly touches it. What a hammer. And then Shorty's guilty. What a legendary video. Look at how sick the Muska is. He's just all style. Look at how fucking rad the guy is. I can't watch him skate or listen to an interview with him without getting absolutely stoked. The huge nose blunt on the Paul Rodriguez rail. Tail slide fakie. He does about 15 of them in this video part. He does probably the gnarliest tail slide to fakie ever. There's the Janowski bump, kickflip over it. And then just a huge Venice pit ollie off onto the ledge. Just a sick way to use that. Love how he slightly goes for the kink there at Clipper and to the tail slide fakie. We will see a lot of those. There's the illusion hard flip. Only sick when he does it. Eat your heart out, Chris Markovich. I hate when you do it. Tray flip over that was ridiculously sick. Crazy editing. Insane nose slide. Backside blunt slide is getting a little more tech there. A trick we don't often see from him. I think he does a blunt slide fakie on a handrail too. Huge ollie over the rail into the bank. And then Brooklyn Banks at spot's about to come back. Tail slide fakie. Sick illusion frontside flip. Sick frontside tail slide fakie. I think that's the fifth one so far down Wilshire 15. Huge 5-0 straight into the ground. Filmed from three angles. The headband, the rolled up capri pants. So sick, Chad. There's that blunt slide fakie. You don't often see that on handrails. Maybe Tommy Sandoval. Kickflip back 50. So ghetto looking. Ghetto child wheels for life. Insane 50-50. The crooked grind. I love how fast he goes into the jankiest setup ever. Just a piece of wood off some stairs over that rail. He hucks it like nothing. He's got the headband on, no shirt. God, Chad is just one of the most iconic people to ever do it. Probably the ugliest and most beautiful switch illusion of all time. This insane kickflip at some like demo in Japan or something. He caught that so well. And then I love this ollie over into these banks. He almost dies right here. He carves and power slides on that second bank. That is what skating's all about. Slightly goes through the kink again on this line. The 5-0 180 out switch nose slide was such a sick line. Wow, that angle's sick. You can tell how dangerous that first trick is. Chad does it all with ease. One of the sickest to ever skate. Huge 50-50. What's he thinking? And look at this other 50. Oh, wait. That's not Chad. That's Foy skating looking like Chad. There's Chad in the landing. I had to shout out Foy. He will obviously be in a gnarliest skaters edit. And then this Manhattan Beach tailslide fakie. Arguably the gnarliest tailslide to fakie ever. The gear, the spot, the way he handled it, the way he landed it. He barely rolls it out and then just jumps into the sand. That was so rad, Chad. And feedback, this is probably my favorite part from him. You really get to see a lot of his personality. Look at that Ghetto Blaster on site to skate the handrail. So sick. This line that opens it up. I remember watching this for the very first time. Just earth-shattered my world. The back tail. I always wanted to learn back tails because of that one right there. And then this 50-50 on this insane rail. He doesn't even have anywhere to land. He just sort of lands and then rolls downstairs. So sick, Chad. Wow. Moment of silence just for how gnarly that 50-50 was. Insane ollie off like a second story set of stairs over the rail. Huge tray flip at the Orco rail, going way too fast. And then, of course, another illusion flip. I think that one was the cover of a CCS in about 2099. Blunt slide fakie at Venice. Huge lip slide. A lot to lose there. Another giant 50-50. The guy is so sick. Look at this nose blunt. That could be in a video today. He's going so fast. And the shove it, Smith nose grind thingy at the wedge. Rad. Front shove it, back 50 off, and you see that. That is stamped, solidified gnar. Follows it up with the kickflip back 50. That ledge no longer exists. He shut it down right there. So sick, Chad. And David Gonzalez back 50-50 this, but this front 50 changed my life forever. Oh my God, that was so sick. The rolled up Lee pants, the Eric Costin 2s, insane. That probably should have been the ender, but this 50-50's nuts. That's a rail that only maybe Heath would try. It just pile drives you straight into the ground. The red circus shirt, the chain, the backwards flex fit hat. Rick McCrank. Whew, my glasses are fogging up from all this stoke right now. Menikmati, we've talked about this video many times. One of the greatest ever. I love the toe in from the snowmobile, the frontside 180, and the way he jumps into the snow. Crankers can really do everything on a skateboard. He can get tech, he can get gnarly, he can skate transition. Nose slide from ledge to rail right there. I love the nose slide, shove it, transfer the hard way. And this nollie hard flip is a thing of absolute beauty. That's a trick that can get away from people and look ugly. That one did not look ugly. Does it again for this line, going so fast. Also remember Costin's line with the switch backside flip, the same spot. Perfect switch crooks, insane switch board slide, not a trick you always see on a big rail. Big over crook. Remember, this is the year 2000. Huge 50-50 in Canada. Wow, it was sick how he popped out. And then he's just really laying it down here. If you know your history, you know how far ahead of his time he is with some of these. We saw David Gravette do some over crooks. This is like 10 years before, almost. Frontside nose slide, insane at UCI. One of the sickest tricks to go down there. Crankers is such a legend. Huge 180. Almost showing up Reynolds' kickflip. I think the kickflip may be sicker. And then the way he skates Le Dome here. I love the power, alling out over the kink. This giant Wally. The guy really can do anything. One of Canada's finest. Kind of an ugly push there, but I'll take it. Sick frontside flip. Kind of in between a Rowley and a Chad Muska. Slightly illusioned. Pushing switch into this rail. Insane. Switch frontside, board slide to switch. The 180 nose grind, he really shuts that thing down. Him and Geoff Rowley and Heath own that rail. The switch flip over, the switch board slide to regular through the kink. So sick. I think Penny nose slid this rail to fakie with the beanie in his back pocket. He does a board slide in a line. Sick looking tray flip going fast. And then he may be the first person to skate this on film, that Barcelona spot. He does not get ejected. He just ollies over that ledge. So rad. Costin's there to watch it. The casual nature of this insane 50-50. Look how he rolls out of that with so much confidence. And then this is a trick that could be done on this rail, the Bricktown rail. Cab front board to fakie, a Rowley trick. That was so rad. And I don't know how he's getting away with this nose grind on this kinked rail. That should be illegal. Insane to go through that kink. Wow, Crankers. Antisocial, such a sick shop. The shop he owns. Nollie frontside flip lip. That was so gnarly. The yellow shirt, the baggy ass pants. This is an era. This is a vibe. Switch flip front board on that Heath rail. That was so sick. I don't even know if it's ahead of its time. People still can't do that trick now. Very select few can. And then this 50-50 kickflip out at Le Dome. Wow, shutting down the whole entire country of France with that one. Look how far he went. Wow, Crankers. I think his part, yeah, right, is probably his best part. He has his part in Especial is really fun. He's cruising a lot. But this opening line, the ollie over, the frontside 180, the switch ollie, I believe that's in Australia. Those are all like at least 10 stairs. One of my most favorite filmed lines of all time. It must have been Ty. The ollie over the rail, the nollie frontside flip down the stairs, the zoom in, zoom out, and the switch crooks coast to coast on that long ledge. Just a sick flick on that kickflip showing how proper he can do things. The frontside 180 and the backwards flex fit hat. Perfect switch flip, we talked about it. The tray flip off that gap. The nollie hard flip in Colorado. So rad. And then frontside big spin when everyone was doing switch big spins. I don't know how he holds this tail slide forever like that. Maniac on the board and a switch crooked grind. That is so earth-shattering at the time when he filmed that in like 2001. Tray flip over in the line to a big backside blunt slide to fakie, taking the Muska trick on a large rail there. He backlips it for good measure. And then he really owns this crazy rail here. I love this tray flip to ride through the Bondo. He 50-50s through the kink, and then he just puts on an absolute Leo Romero-style clinic on the gap to rail, way before Leo. Gap lip slide to fakie, gap 5-0, gap nose grind. Holy fuck, he shut that shit down. Hollywood Bowl, that's where the Hells Angels were hired to be Rolling Stone security, and there was massive riots, but the 50-50 is even scarier than Hells Angels doing security demo or doing security at a concert. Anyway, Feeble through that crazy elbow rail. I don't know what he's thinking there. Love how he flips out on this tail slide. So sick. And then this line. He tries to tail slide it in Harsho Barge and gets broke off, but this 50-50 is so gnarly. It's unfortunate he didn't get the tail slide. But wow, that was a sick way to end out this part. Crank, you legend. That was so casual. It's reminiscent of that David Gravette one. He just puts his arms down, so much confidence on it. That's gnarly. Danny Way, probably the biggest bro in skateboarding, but a ripper nonetheless. Probably the gnarliest guy to ever ride a skateboard. This is Plan B questionable. This is such an old video. He's such a powerhouse, not only on transition, the cab back nose blunt revert over the spine, the double flip indie. I know that a lot of you don't like vert skating. I have a huge appreciation for that varial back five or whatever the fuck that was so rad. But I think where he really shines through in this is his street tricks. Insane varial heel flip, melon grab to fakie. I don't know what he's thinking right there. You don't see that often. His 32 millimeter wheels. And then here he is in the streets. Legitimate back lip on a handrail. May have been the first. Love how he went on the curb. Gons gap. This is 1992. Frontside 360 on a double set. Lip slide through that kinked rail. Back 50 on that kink rail for good measure. Breaks his tail. This is so insanely heavy. Such a sick looking back 360. Maybe the first back nose blunt on something other than a curb. There's back nose blunt transfer. Some of these things are so groundbreaking for you younger cats or even someone my age. This is probably before your time. I was only 3 or 4 years old when this came out. The huge Switch 180 at the San Diego Sports Arena. And then we know Duffy from the first Gnarly video we made. He 50-50'd it. And Danny handles a board slide on this. Danny is able to skate just about anything. This is one of my favorite backside 360s ever. I wouldn't call him a style guy, but that was stylish in its own way, how fast he was going. And some more, this is like some skateboarding for people that don't skate, is him trying to break his own highest air record, which we'll see the highest air. It's from his DC video part. We'll see that coming up. So insanely gnarly. There's no arguing that just getting that high on a board and going that fast into a quarter pipe that tall is just about as gnarly as it gets. This isn't my cup of tea. I have an appreciation for it. This is something edible for people that don't skate. Like if you don't know anything about skating, you might know about this trick or this Great Wall of China trick where I think he broke his ankle and then he went back the next day with cortisol. And you should listen to Jake Phelps tell the story. It's way more interesting than this singular clip. That was gnarly. That's for the record books. Again, not my cup of tea. But his part in the DC video is one of the greatest parts, I think, of skating everything there is to skate. You know, skating stairs and handrails and transition and vert. He skates all of it and he does it so heavy. He also invented mega ramp skating here. This is the video where the mega ramp did not exist, and then all of a sudden this video part dropped, and all of a sudden it exists. So the biggest Madonna probably ever done, the kickflip back Smith on the barrier, so rad. He hits Bezos bump with ease. The back 360 no pop at MACBA. That was so rad, Danny. The kickflip back nose grind come in regular in a fucking pool. The back tail up the escalator. That's so rad. I had to really condense this video part down. He has like an 8-minute part. That was so insane. So this is, for anybody who doesn't know, this is our intro to mega ramp skating in skateboarding history. He got DC to pay for it. Look at how stylish the building is on it. And he's just hucking over it. This is obviously snowboard influenced. The way he's grabbing tail right there and just holding it forever. The switch backside 360 Japan, I believe. I don't know what he's thinking going switch to switch on that before anybody else even got to skate one. Again, I'm more partial to Bob Burnquist. I think he's way more interesting to watch skate, but Danny is a killer. Look at that backside 7. He's corked out in the air. This is more for like a snowboarder to like. I'm not really that into it, but I can appreciate it. And then we saw him breaking this high air record. So gnarly. I mean, if you bail on that, you're done. You're Jake Brown. You're landing in the flat. And hopefully you're waking up and you're not dead. It's the end of him. Let's get into Milton. I need a palate cleanser from some of that bro skating there. Milton is the scariest skater currently out to watch skate, maybe of all time. You can just really see his power. I love his style, the way he approaches hills, those tail scrapes going down this hill in San Diego. Insane. I know Pedro Delfino and T-Funk bombed this while drinking beers to kind of fuck with something. I don't know. They were proving a point, but look at how insanely fast he's going. I don't care if those other guys bombed it too. Those guys are some of my favorites as well. Some of the gnarliest guys out. But Milton just has his own style. He kind of looks like a hockey player. He's got that Natas Kappas thing going on with his arms. And he's just set up and just ready to rip. He's going so fucking fast. That is absolutely do or die. I love how he runs and throws down into this one. It's just another angle of the same Hillbomb. Those tail scrapes, you got everything to lose on that. Last time I tail scraped on a Hillbomb, I separated my shoulder and I was out. My boss at work was pissed, but I told him it happened wakeboarding because I know how to lie. Never throw skateboarding under the fucking bus. Make sure your boss doesn't even know you skate. Anyway, he hits that Hillbomb in that yellow shirt. Just the most insane thing. I wanted to do a little palette opener there. And then, of course, if you don't know the history of this, we talked about it in Cardiel, Most Stylish Skaters. He indied off it. Mark tried it right after him and slid on his face through the curb. So incredibly gnarly. Yes, we will get to the Gons. He's probably going to have his own episode one day. Not a huge Greco fan. That was gnarly. I don't know why he's so obsessed with not wearing shirts like he's in a fucking rock band. But anyway, this is where Milton tries his ollie the first time, breaks his leg. Thought you needed a little context on this spot just to know how gnarly this kickflip into this car wash bank is. Wow, that was so sick. And then he goes back another time. Jake Phelps spray painted on the front face of the wall. Ollie's into it with ease. I love how he plays in traffic without even caring. And then look at the flick on this kickflip. He almost stuck that one. This is like his third or fourth time being there. That is one of the gnarliest tricks ever done in history. I believe it won the Street League Skateboarding gnarliest trick of 2019, and it deserved it. That was the way he hucked it, how high he popped it, the confidence on the catch. Oh my God. I know there's people out there that probably don't like Milton, and you are fucking stupid. Sam Hits over at Creature knows how to pick them. They have such a skilled team. I love Creature. I don't care what you street ledge purists say. I love Creature. Let's look at his real street part. This won him real street in 2021. That nose grind through the kink. I don't know if you can fully count it as a land. He kind of jumped off, but oh my God, that was sick. One of the gnarliest ever. And then we saw Zach Saraceno do a line here. I love Milton's completely different approach, the out of control pushing, the fast wally, and then just a balls to the wall ride. He might be the sickest wall rider ever. Huge ollie into that bank. And then this is a slept-on trick. He completely wall rides to backsmith and pops out. It was so stylish and gnarly at the same time. Slept-on shove it. There's a worm burner into that Hillbomb. That was so rad, Milton. I think he's the fastest skater on the planet. He's definitely the scariest guy to watch. He actually makes me feel like I'm on a drop on a roller coaster. That gap to wall ride, what is he thinking? I have to slow-mo that one. Do or absolutely die. I love that angle filming of it too. So that won him first for real street. This kickflip in. Insanely gnarly. Let's watch that again. It doesn't get any more insane than that. I don't know where that spot is, but I love how he rolls into the street and he sees this Toyota Prius and he just shoots his board into it. He has so many, his balls are so big, he's not afraid to play in traffic. And whew, we are going to end this whole thing out with this demolition. If Phelps was alive still and didn't die, he would have gave Skater of the Year to Milton and not given it to Tyshawn Jones for a second time. Ridiculous shit. R.I.P. Phelper. Ollie in, ollie over the canal there, and then whatever this spot is, absolutely gnarly. He does the kickflip in, and then he almost loses control and goes over the edge here. He's always on the seat of his pants. I don't know if it's more scary watching him skate or him skating this huge kickflip in San Diego. I believe you can see that spot off the freeway. It's fucking gnarly. Did someone grind that rail? I think they did, or they tried to. That was so legit. Flicked. Nose was lower than the tail. And then this Versace plug spot, he's going super fast into the frontside flip. I love the creativity there to take the banks into the trick. And then this might be that Heath Kirchart kickflip spot. I'm not sure. Someone in the comments tell me it was a huge ollie. Love how long he holds his nose grinds for. That was so fucking sick. Weird drop-in ollie thing on that bank. Pole jam invented by Jeff Hartzell, legend. And then this tail slide triple banker. I mean, you got everything to lose and not much to gain, but I think it's that hockey power, maybe the gnarliest ollie in ever done. What is he thinking on that spot? That is some South American fucking bullshit right there. Wow. Is he from Argentina? I love the way he lip slides on that jacuzzi and drops in. Great use of the pool. More ollies. He's always power sliding. And then this nose blunt through this kink ledge. What the fuck is going on here? The worst trick ever to probably do on that was so rad, Milton. He'll surprise you with some of the tricks. Sometimes he busts out some gnarly flip tricks. He'll follow up that ollie on with the back 50 on that giant. That's like the South American clipper right there. And then that's one of those rails you joke about while drinking that someone's going to hit. Milton actually skates it. I don't know how you pop off shingles into that front board. Fucking ridiculously gnarly. The ollie into that thing. I don't know what you're thinking. Look how far he goes on that. My butthole is puckered up the entire time I watch this guy skate. It's like a 15-foot drop out of that board slide. He is the gnarliest guy out as far as just hucking and street and pushing boundaries of what's doable. The gap front board, the nollie big heel. He does have tech tricks when he wants. And this insane wall ride, and then just the Hillbomb. I love that's such an iconic pose on the board there. That is all power. It's such a thrasher thing to do. And look at him playing in traffic again. It wasn't even the gnarliest ollie, but what is he thinking going straight into traffic? The dude is a freaking goddamn killer. Oh my God, I'm stoked right now. The big back 180 in this line after the electrical box right on. That was huge. He's waving his arms. I love his style. I love how out of control he is and how much power he has. But I like his refined trick selection. I think you kind of have to have a refined... Oh my God, that speed wobbles is insane. You have to have a refined trick selection when you're doing things this gnarly, going this fast. And this wall ride is so sick. Ollie into it, ollie out of it, tranny to tranny. That was so perfect, Milton. Gap to crooked grind. Insanely gnarly. All these tricks are ridiculous. Just falling off a building, frontside 180 over that rail. The Geoff Rowley spot, wally, nose grind, shove it. Insane. Shutting that shit down under the bridge there. This huge lip slide. I don't know what he's thinking. It's hard to even commentate on these tricks. Every single one of them just doesn't even seem real. He's going so fast, and there's so much to lose on each one of these tricks. Huge 5-0, past the curb, the yellow shirt. Jesus frickin' Christ. The 50-50 into the bank, into the Hillbomb. He's holding on for dear life, but he looks so in control at the same time. I fucking love it. This guy should have got Saudi, not Tyshawn, but who am I to say it? Felper, if you didn't die on us, you could have called it like you saw it and gave it to the right guy. Crusty frontside 180 over the stairs. The insane nose grind on the flat down on that rail. So sick, Milton. And then maybe the gnarliest frontside flip ever done, and that's saying quite a lot with people like Andrew Reynolds existing, but holy fucking hell to take that out switch. That was so rad. And then how far he goes on this kickflip lip slide, skirts in the landing. I love the out-of-control nature of it. Dude is always on edge. Dude is a pleasure to watch. And then there's that Geoff Rowley lip slide spot, that huge hubba kickflip board slide. I don't know what he's thinking. How do you not sack that? And then this kickflip wall ride, amazing. And then I think he does the biggest wall ride in history in this video part. Yeah, there it is. Oh my God, he's just falling off a 20 stair. That was so rad. And then maybe the gnarliest gap to any trick on a rail. I don't know what he's thinking. Somebody tried to ollie that at some point and got handled. That was so sick, Milton. Dude is a killer. I know there's 3 Creature skaters in this video today, but I feel like they deserved it. Creature doesn't get enough love sometimes. But anyway, yeah, that was part 2 of the gnarliest skaters. I might make a hard flip video next, best and worst hard flip, so you can put that in the comments. I'm thinking Herman, I'm thinking Ryan Gallant for best, and I'm thinking worst Chris Markovich. But shout out to Ben. I think it's a good idea to go with the hard flip video next. This is the Gnarly List, and have a good fucking night.